Welcome to This Explainer. I want you to imagine, just for a second, the most charming, universally beloved person you know. You know, the kind of person who walks into a room and instantly makes everyone feel safe, seen, and completely valued? Now, imagine that every single smile, every joke, and every kind word is actually a calculated move to mask a terrifying, deadly agenda. That chilling thought? That's exactly what we're going to dive into today as we explore the profound duality of literature's most charismatic pirate, Long John Silver from Treasure Island. 15 men on the dead man's chest, yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum. We all know the iconic song, right? But think about what's actually happening here. When they set sail on the Hispaniola, Silver sings this out loud, and the whole crew joins in. He's not just passing the time. This is a brilliant psychological tactic. Shared experiences, especially music and rhythm, create this incredibly potent artificial sense of trust. It instantly fosters unity, excitement, and a deep, unquestioning camaraderie among men who barely even know each other. But of course, all that singing hid a deadly secret. He wasn't just a cheerful cook, he was a master of deception wearing a meticulously crafted mask. And honestly, this is a concept that translates directly to the real world. Master manipulators and sociopaths often use this forced, exaggerated cheerfulness as camouflage. It's a defense mechanism meant to completely disarm you. By projecting a warm, lovable public persona, they make the very idea of their darkness seem utterly impossible to anyone watching. Let's move into part 1, the charismatic sea cook. From the absolute second they left port, Silver actively cultivated this endearing, completely harmless image. He had his cute parrot, Captain Flint, always screaming, "Pieces of 8! Pieces of 8!" And he kept a kitchen that was as clean as a new pin. Now, these might seem like small details, but they are incredibly effective at dropping a person's natural defenses. I mean, you simply don't expect a neat, pet-loving cook to be a cutthroat, do you? And this routine worked flawlessly on everyone, but especially on young Jim Hawkins. For an innocent kid, it is dangerously easy to fall for a charming, friendly father figure who always seems genuinely thrilled to see you. What makes this so dangerous is how proactive his manipulation really is. Silver doesn't just sit back and act passively nice when someone talks to him. He anticipates the crew's every need. He makes sure everyone is perfectly fed, even keeping a barrel of apples open for any man to just grab a snack whenever they want. It's a textbook example of leveraging reciprocal altruism. By constantly doing these small, unasked-for favors, he's basically buying the crew's blind, cheerful obedience. He creates this subconscious debt in their minds so that absolutely no one suspects his true intentions. Which brings us to part 2, Secrets in the Barrel. On the eve of their arrival at Treasure Island, that carefully crafted illusion completely shatters. Just imagine the claustrophobic darkness here. Jim climbs inside that very same nearly empty apple barrel to grab a snack, completely surrounded by the sweet, rotting smell of fruit. Suddenly, the heavy wooden planks creak against his back as someone sits down, leaning their entire weight right against the barrel. Jim sits there, literally trembling in the pitch black, as he overhears a hushed conversation that strips away the cook's disguise forever. From the shadows of that barrel, Jim listens to a chilling reality. Silver calmly reveals to a younger sailor that he was actually a top pirate under the notorious Captain Flint, and he's already got a massive fortune stashed away in the bank. And worse, he is actively recruiting honest crewmen into a mutiny. His master plan is absolutely ruthless. He's gonna let the capable Captain Smollett do all the hard work of sailing them there and finding the treasure. And once it's aboard, Silver plans to murder every single honest man on the ship so they can never go home. The psychological whiplash here is just terrifying. The same guy cheerfully handing out apples hours ago is now coldly plotting mass slaughter. Let's look at exactly how he does this in part 3, Tailored Tactics of Manipulation. The absolute hallmark of a true master manipulator is that they never use a one-size-fits-all script. They meticulously read their targets and adjust. Silver demonstrates this perfectly. He weaponizes the promise of massive wealth to seduce a young, impressionable seaman named Dick. But when it comes to an older, steadfast sailor named Tom, Silver switches his entire persona, trying to use false loyalty and friendship to lay his trap. Listen to exactly how he pitches this to the young seaman Dick. He says, "Once I'm back from this trip, I'll live like a gentleman.
but I began life like you, a clever young seaman. Wow, that rags to riches story is intoxicating. Silver identifies Dick's core desire, wealth and status, and totally exploits his youth. He acknowledges the danger, sure, but promises hundreds of pounds and an upscale, luxurious life. He isn't just offering this kid money, he's offering him an entire identity, a way to actually matter in the world. And it works instantly. Dick shakes Silver's hand so hard the apple barrel rattles, sealing his turn to piracy.
Now contrast that completely with his approach to the veteran sailor Tom later on the island. He tells him, "I'm warning you because I'm your friend, Tom." This is profoundly insidious. Silver knows Tom is a good, honest man, so he takes those exact noble traits and weaponizes them against him. He plays the role of a protective companion, supposedly trying to save Tom from a doomed fate. He flatters him, calling him old and honest, deliberately trying to manipulate Tom's innate sense of loyalty to drag him over to the mutineers' side.
Which leads us to a horrifying climax in Part 4. The mask finally slips. Because, let's face it, psychological manipulation only gets you so far. When the bubbling mutiny threatens to boil over, Captain Smollett lets the men go ashore for the afternoon to blow off steam. Jim sneaks along in one of the boats and hides in the woods. Picture the scene. A lush, beautiful, tropical canopy overhead, completely at odds with the violent, horrific reality unfolding right beneath it. Here, hidden in the thicket, Jim witnesses Silver's true nature firsthand. First, crouched behind a tree, Jim watches Silver attempting that emotional manipulation on Tom. But suddenly, a horrible, agonizing scream rips through the island air. The sound just echoes through the trees. Another honest sailor, Alan, has just been murdered by the mutineers elsewhere on the island. In that chilling moment, Tom realizes exactly what that scream means. Alan is dead. And to his immense credit, the brave veteran looks Silver dead in the eye, totally rejects the false friendship, and turns his back on him, boldly declaring he'd rather die than join a scoundrel. What happens next is just pure, terrifying brutality. Stripped of his charismatic disguise and facing rejection, Silver hurls his heavy crutch through the air like a missile. It strikes poor Tom squarely in the back. As Tom falls to the ground with a cry, Silver leaps onto him, quick as a monkey, and brutally stabs the helpless man twice with his hunting knife. The transformation is absolute. The friendly, whistling cook who kept a spotless kitchen, he's gone forever. In his place is a monster, calmly standing over a corpse, wiping a bloody blade on a patch of grass. Let's bring this all together in our final section, survival versus morality. We're really looking at two fundamentally different ways of navigating a corrupt, treacherous world here. It's this eternal clash of brutal pragmatism against moral principles. Silver survives through deep deceit, mutiny, and outright murder, hiding a killer behind a cheerful facade with zero genuine loyalties. But then look at young Jim Hawkins. He survives through acute observation, warning his honest allies, and escaping. Jim maintains his moral compass. For any of us navigating difficult environments, it's a really powerful reminder. Jim's innocence isn't a weakness. His honesty and his desire to do the right thing are exactly what keep his eyes wide open to the deception going on around him. Which leaves us with a haunting final question to consider as Jim sprints away in terror through the trees. In a world of pirates, does survival actually require abandoning your morals? When you're surrounded by absolute cutthroats, is moral integrity a fatal flaw, or is it literally the only thing that truly saves you? Jim's journey suggests that keeping your honesty intact might just be your biggest advantage, but Silver's brutal success really makes you wonder. Thank you so much for joining me to explore the deceptive duality of Long John Silver. I'll see you in the next explainer.